Hello, and welcome to Influential Thursday on the Joan Henry Show. I'm your host, Jamaican Joan, and I'm super excited about tonight's broadcast. As you know, this month is Women's History Month. And so for this month, I will be featuring some very influential women all month long, okay? And as women take more significant roles in the business world, right? Their impact continues to grow. Our role as women, as risk takers, as motivators, as innovators, as business owners, wealth builders, and community influencers have proven financially successful in the marketplace, giving us the potential to break through glass ceilings and kick down glass doors, right? So if you're tuning in for the first time to the Joan Henry Show, this show is designed to bring you a weekly series of exciting programs that will inform, educate, and inspire you to start or take your business or personal goals to another level. The show covers topics such as creative thinking, mindset, walking in your purpose, turning your passion into profit, and a host of other business and motivational topics. So let me use this time to shout out all my viewers locally and of course internationally, London, Canada, the Bahamas, Cayman Islands, and of course my Jamaican crew. Hey, hey, hey. So I thank you guys for whether you're listening live or if you're, watching the replay, it's all good. Thank you so much for your weekly support. So tonight's featured guest is Ms. Shante John Toussaint, whom you will hear from shortly. And she's probably going to correct the pronunciation of her name, but that's all right. Okay, so before we bring her on, I would like to take this moment to invite you to a Sip and Paint fundraiser for the RISA Incorporated organization. And this fundraiser is geared towards generating income so that we can help a few kids go to summer camp this summer. Okay, we know that it's no fun getting out of school and staying home, so the RISA organization is trying to help a few kids to get out there and have some fun during the summer. And of course, if you want to learn more about RISA Incorporated, you could go to www.risawomen.org, and of course I'll type that information in the feed. I would also want to take this time to invite you to an upcoming Power Networking event with We Global Network, which is my other organization, where I partner with the amazing Shirley Lou of Shirley Lou Finances. And we're looking to partner with some other powerhouse women to create a bigger and even bigger impact in the business world. So I will put that information in the feed once I'm done. And so you come on out. We're going to have a strategy session on April 4th. And I would love to see your face in the place. So come on, let's partner, okay? So tonight's influential quote comes from Beyonce Knowles Carter. And she says, "Power is not given to you. You have to take it." Again, power is not given to you. You have to take it. So, hello, Shante, and welcome to the Joan Henry Show. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so delighted to have you on this broadcast as well. So I know who you are, but maybe there's someone viewing who do not know who is Shante. So can you just tell us about yourself? Who is Shante?
Sure, but first I want to say thank you for saying my name correctly. And I just want to say you are a fantastic woman. It's Women's Month. I have to give it back to you for putting this together and showcasing women. And it started with you first and foremost, and it will continue to grow as always. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
So my name is Shante John Toussaint, and I am a speech language pathologist and a serial entrepreneur, with my second business being in Navetica. So as a speech language pathologist, I opened my own business called Mind Your Language. And I have to say that it was something that was daunting at first because in my family, it wasn't always encouraged to go off on your own and start something brand new. It was, you go to school, you find a good job, and you work. So I am happy to say that as a woman, it is possible. As a woman, we can get out there and we can start something and create something that we have passion for. So as a speech language pathologist, one of my biggest goals that I want to accomplish is just outreach, being able to help mothers be able to know what the strategies are to help foster more language in the home so that their children are prepared for school when it comes to speaking as they should be for their age, knowing how to answer questions, knowing how to problem solve and things of that nature.
Okay, and I'm about to ask you a question that you have already partially explained, but in layman terms, what is a speech language pathologist? Tell us.
Great
that.
question. So due to how new this field is, it's only about 60 years old. A speech language pathologist is someone who works, or I like to put it like this. I help people think, I help people speak, and I help people swallow safely. And when I say people, it's people of all different ages. So when it comes to helping people think, a lot of times when individuals have stroke or if they have brain damage, it can affect their ability to problem solve, to remember anything, or have recall issues, orientation, just a number, sequencing, what happens first, what happens next. So helping these individuals to develop those skills if they don't already have it, or improve them so that they can be more independent in their functioning. And then when it comes to speech, again, those same issues as I mentioned before can affect speech, but when it comes to children, sometimes they can be a little delayed in the sounds that they should be saying for their age. So just going in and helping them to build those muscle memory for their tongue and their cheeks so that they can produce those sounds using different devices. And then when it comes to swallowing, working with children as young as being in the NICU, preemies, all the way up to the geriatric population who may have dementia and things of that nature, assessing their swallow, making sure that they're safe when they're eating certain textured foods. And I can go into that a lot more, but that's basically the gist of it.
Okay, so I know that there are other speech and language pathologists out there. So what sets you apart from the rest of SLPs in the area? That's the shortened for speech and language pathologists, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so what sets you apart from the others in the field?
So what sets Mind Your Language apart is the fact that we come to you. So in doing so, as a client, that cuts out costs for you, that saves you more time, and it also helps you to be the king of your domain or the queen of your domain, because we feel safest at home. We want to function the best at home. So as I mentioned before, with stroke or dementia, or if you have been in an accident, or if you have any kind of impairment or challenge, the first place you want to succeed is within your home. And in doing so, that gives you the confidence to then venture out and be successful vocationally or in the community or with your family members. So Mind Your Language, we've devised in-home services and services through the computer, just like how we're speaking right now, so that we can reach individuals in rural areas, individuals who aren't able to drive. And then another area that differentiates us is the fact that we can also provide 30-minute treatment sessions, because many of us have so many pulls. We're being pulled this way, pulled that way. If we're not at work, we have to take care of the children. If we're not taking care of the children, we have to take care of our older family members. So having the time to spend to drive somewhere to have an hour of therapy isn't always feasible. So again, you can access us from your phone. You can access us I can come to you in home for 30 minutes and cater around your schedule.
Okay, so what age do you serve?
I serve all ages.
Okay.
So I've worked with as young as 7 months and as old as 92.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's widespread right there.
In a variety of different settings. Yes.
Right. So what are some of these services that you provide? Can you break down those services for us?
Definitely. So public speaking, that's a huge one. Accent modification for individuals who feel like due to their accent, they're not able to be promoted. And I want to stipulate that accent modification is not diminishing a person's accent, is helping them to be able to switch it on and off to their liking. Because there's nothing wrong with having an accent. I love the
Oh,
fact
no,
that
absolutely not. Jamaican
exactly.
Joan can tell you that.
Right, it makes us different, it makes us unique.
That's
So
right.
yeah, another one would be swallow therapy, helping people who have been demoted, in a sense they're not able to eat steak or chicken off the bone because it's not safe, providing techniques and strategies to help them get back to that point. That's another type of therapy. I can go on and on as well. Sequencing memory, helping individuals with safety awareness, helping caregivers as well, helping parents. I truly believe in working with the whole family, because when I leave after that hour, you still have 23 hours of the day. So helping to provide training, if it's in a facility or if it's with members within a household. So those are pretty much the major areas, but
Mhm.
there are a lot more that I also offer.
Okay, so what drives this passion for this field?
You know, it's interesting because even as a child, in school, I would be selected to work with other children if they were struggling in an area. I remember one time my teacher in second grade was like, "You're so nice, Shantae. You should pair up with so and so and help her." And I never mind doing that. And then as I got older, I actually checked out a sign language book. I never was surrounded by anyone who was deaf or hard of hearing. That's also associated with our field as well, working with individuals who have hearing impairment. And yeah, I just gravitated toward that field. So I've always had a passion for helping others. My
Okay.
passion, I feel like my purpose in life is to help elevate life, as my motto is, elevating a person from where they are due to circumstance to help them feel like they can be empowered and can bring their dreams into fruition with the guidance and the therapy and the strategies. Because with technology, with the way that society has changed and has been more accepting to individuals with disabilities, the sky really is the limit. And I feel like it's my goal in life to help those people reach that and just soar past it.
Okay. So let me ask you, because as with most businesses, there's always that risk factor, right?
Right. Hmm.
So how do you, what are some of the risks that you may have faced, and how did you, you know, get over those hurdles of risks?
Yes, definitely. So one of the risks was not having insurance. I feel like as women, sometimes we feel we're not always educated as far as what we need to have in our back office, and that's crucial. So when I first decided I wanted to start a business, I have to give it to my husband. He really sat me down and said, "Okay, you need to have liability insurance. You need to have malpractice insurance. Yes, it's less that I have to pay for because I'm going in home, but at the end of the day, if I didn't have it, it's still a risk. It's a huge risk. Another risk is just being equipped and knowing what's ethical, really knowing that scope of practice. Because when you're on your own, you have no supervisor anymore. There's no one to ask, should I be doing this? Is this within my scope? Is this ethical? Is this lawful when it comes to billing and things of that nature? So I feel like the biggest piece for me when it came to risk was really educating myself on the do's and the don'ts, because yeah, it could really get you, especially with our documentation.
Okay. So as a young entrepreneur, young in the entrepreneurial world, um, how do you handle adversity and doubt? Because those are two things that I know for sure will show up. So how do you handle those two?
Faith, praying, number one. Number one. When it comes to doubt, I love what you said in your opening, mindset. Mindset is huge. So I listen to a lot of personal development, and a lot of it comes from just realizing that when we are negative in our thinking, negative things are going to happen. So if I'm doubting myself, if I'm doubting my capability, what I first have to realize is that God made no mistakes when he made me, right? God made no mistakes when he made us. So if this is something that I want to do and I'm going to put quality into it, then I shouldn't be doubting myself. I shouldn't doubt the process. Yes, there are going to be obstacles. Yes, there are going to be downfalls. There's going to be hard times, but those are lessons. Learning that obstacles are made to overcome, not to hinder, really changing that mindset. That has been the biggest tool I can possibly give to anyone out there to overcome doubt. Because we have naysayers, we have people that will always say, it's not going to be easy, especially for a woman. So and so tried and failed, and so tried and failed. But at the end of the day, you have to pick yourself back up and keep on going. And I've learned over this almost going on, I think, a year and 6 months now, that it's about networking as well. It's about surrounding yourself with positive people who are aligned and reaching goals in their life. And then again, just reading books, listening to people who are positive and helping to redevelop that mindset. And number one, first and foremost, prayer and just believing and walking by faith.
Yes, because what you're doing is really big, to walk away from your good old 9 to 5 to start your own. I'm sure there probably was some sleepless night with that idea, but nonetheless, you pushed past all that, fear and whatever else had presented itself. You pushed past all those, and here it is. You are doing your own, holding your own business versus, over there working for somebody else. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with working for someone else, but just to turn in that passion and your skill set into something profitable for you. You didn't have to go out there and try to reinvent the wheel and try to come up with something new that probably wouldn't work. You use what you have been doing for years and then now make it yours. So that is totally awesome. So you're welcome. So what are the areas that you cover with your business, and do you plan to expand outside of those areas?
Great question. Yes, I actually am licensed in DC and Maryland, and I have put in the paperwork to be licensed in Florida, seeing as how I know many individuals there and my client base is stronger there. So I have plans to expand to Virginia. Not in the near future, maybe in about 8 months or so after I start developing Florida. And Florida is all going to be through teletherapy. So via the computer. So the complexity of cases, it's going to be more mild than in person with more severe cases.
So with this kind of business, how do you advertise your business?
Well, a lot of word of mouth, believe it or not, a lot of word of mouth and just referrals. So when I meet someone and they like my services, I tell them, if you know anyone else, because again, birds of a feather flock together. Yes. There are a lot of support groups. Also, I literally, when I decided to start, I went knocking. Anybody who ever could use a speech and language pathologist, I just went knocking. So now, because I did that then, those referrals are still coming in to this day, which is fantastic. And just networking opportunities. I always try to stay abreast of those and just let people know, hey, I'm out here, things of that nature.
Yes, and I can, attest to that networking because I've hosted 2 events and, you were there with your table set up, just promoting your business. So that's good. Continue to do that. So let's switch gears for a little, because as with most entrepreneurs who believe in multiple streams of income, you are no different. So you have another business venture with Novatica. Can you just share for a brief moment about that?
Yes, definitely. So as a business owner, I am everything. And if I do not work, like everybody knows, I do not get paid. There isn't any PTO yet because, I'm starting and I'm developing. Business is going well. But again, if I don't work or if a client cancels, I don't get paid. So I decided to get into that residual income, another source of income, because we know millionaires have a minimum of 7 streams. And when I came across this company, Novatica, it just made sense to me because it's an industry that is brand new as far as the timing is concerned. So it's a ground floor opportunity that hasn't even officially launched yet. And it is involved in the pet industry, which is an industry that is currently still on the rise and is stable, profitable, and has a huge, large target market. So it just makes sense to get involved. And so far, it's really been benefiting me, and I'm very pleased.
Okay, so we'll continue down that path, and I'm sure later on in the year I'll have you to come back to talk about that particular business. So so let's switch back to minding your language, right?
Okay.
So here it is, you're a person that you once had this, what you're doing now as your regular 9 to 5, now you've made it into a business yourself. And I'm sure there are many people out there who may want to do the same. So what if there's this one person that's watching right now or going to be listening back to the replay that, you know, would like to start a business, but they're on the edge. They're like, I don't know, I'm not motivated enough to do it. I don't know if it's a good idea. As a young entrepreneur, because of all the 4 people that I have lined up for this month, Women's History Month, not only are you the youngest, but you're the youngest in age and in business.
Okay.
And it's okay because everybody, you got to start somewhere. And
Right.
I knew this was a great idea having you on, because somebody may be watching. You don't have to be in business for 10 years to get on a platform to talk about your business.
Right.
Somebody need to hear your message tonight about the young in age and young in the business world. And it's okay. Okay. So what word of encouragement would you give to such person who may be sitting on the sidelines?
The first thing, do not get stuck in analysis paralysis. And what I mean by that, don't sit down and take in all the information and try to figure every single thing out before you get started, because then you'll never start. You have to jump in. You have to jump in, because the reason why you want to start a business is because you have an idea and you know that you can execute the task. Those two right there is the nitty gritty. Now, the next steps are, okay, how am I going to get paid? And that's usually always number 3 after the idea, because you need it to be profitable. So once you have those 3 steps in line, jump in, sign up, get your name patented or registered, make sure. And then after that, go ahead, start finding out what other businesses are like this. If it's something brand new, then even better. And then try to find what makes you different. And then once you find that what makes you different, run with it. Just start letting people know. Nowadays, you don't even really need a business card. Nowadays, everything is exchanging through Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. So you really, like long ago, you really don't need much to start a business. You just need to get out there, let people know who you are. And the biggest thing that I want to say is make sure that you are providing quality in whatever it is you do, because that quality is what's going to pay you over and over and over again. All of that analysis, reading up the first 5 years, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 that is not going to get you to be successful. You are going to learn as you go. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody goes over obstacles and hurdles, and you just have to get in the game, stay positive, and change your mindset. Also, I would encourage reading books that are about mindset as well. Listening to your show, Joan, is also essential.
Yes, and of course,
Oh,
you know,
yes,
I have my book, The Power of a Positive Mindset. So
exactly.
yes, hit me up if you need that book so you can get the
Exactly.
mind right, right?
Yes, because I didn't even have my client software until about maybe 3 months ago.
Okay.
I was doing, yeah. And again, you know, as I went, I said, okay, there are some client softwares out there, and let me start looking into them. And the next thing that I want to get into will be revamping my website again. So you just do it as you go. Just do it
Yeah.
as you go.
Okay. All right. So how can people find you, follow you, get in touch with you?
So my handle is at Mind Your Language LLC for everything. My email is info at Mind Your Language LLC. Instagram, Mind Your Language LLC. Facebook, same thing. So just type it in. And my phone number is 301 966-7976. I almost forgot it.
And so,
Yes.
no, I was going to say, once you're done, you could also type that information in the feed, your website and your phone number and everything that you mentioned, how
Okay,
people can find
wonderful.
you. Yes. And yeah, so this is great information. And I'm so excited to have you here on, celebrating Women's History Month with
Thank
me
you.
on Influential Thursday. So is there anything, and I know I've been asking a lot of questions, but is there anything you would like to share that I did not ask you and you would like to share with the viewers?
I would just like to say that at the end of the day, having your own business is freedom. And nothing beats working for your own last name. There's nothing wrong, like you said, with having a job, but when you're able to dictate how you want to live your life and how you want to provide services, I feel like the quality that I'm able to provide to my clients is so much more rewarding than being bound by red tape dictated by people who aren't even in the field. And that's for me personally in my field. So as an entrepreneur, just know that it's not just about the income, but it's also about what you can provide, even down to selling shirts, selling shoes, selling services. You are a person that's representing your company and you can help brighten somebody's day at the end of the day because it's what you have a passion for. And make sure it's something that you're passionate about because then you're going to enjoy doing it. So
Okay.
that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. And so I'm going to throw another question at you. So for me, my motto is integrity and honesty at every level.
Yes.
How important, from your standpoint, it is for people to have integrity when it comes to business?
Oh my
Integrity and
goodness.
honesty.
It is monumental. It is monumental because when somebody tells you one thing and then they don't back it up, it not only affects you, it affects your clients, it affects your reputation, it affects your ability to even go back to that source. It could affect people referring to you because you don't know how their lack of integrity and honesty has portrayed you in someone else's eyes.
Yes.
So having integrity and being honest is monumental. People don't forget. The world is small and is getting smaller every day. So people are looking for individuals that are going to stand by what they say. And as an individual that stands by what they say, you will have a more happier life and a more fulfilling life in the long run. So it benefits everyone.
Okay. All right. And I approve that statement. Okay, viewers. So I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's simply Influential Thursday, and that is where I will be housing all these amazing broadcasts. So if you want to go back and check them out, you can find them there. And as always said, remember that it takes both rain and sunshine to build a rainbow. So you got to put in the work to make your business choice, your goal, whatever it is that you're trying to do. You got to put in the work to make it become a reality, to make it successful, because it's not going to happen just because you want it to happen. You got to put in the work, and you got to put in the work some more. It's going to take work. It's going to take dedication, but it can be done. Okay. So again, thank you for tuning into Influential Thursday. Join me next week, same time, same network, for another exciting broadcast with featured guest, Miss Tracy Ward out of Topeka, Kansas. And she's going to be joining us on Influential Thursday next week. So again, thank you as always, and please share this broadcast with your network. Thank you again so much, Shante, for being the first of the featured guests for the Women's History Month. Thank you so much for joining and being such an amazing guest on the show tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, listeners. So I have been your host, Jamaican Joan. Catch you next week. Again, same time, same platform. But until then, you take care and make this $1 million day. Jamaican Joan out.